by complex, scientific, schizophrenic, infinitist, freestylist, exorcist, our psychic, our sick, and anatomy have embraced such infinite varieties of being, have laid open such new worlds in time and space, have grappled not unsuccessfully with very complex problems that eyes of that Elias and of Harvey might be dazzled by the sight of the tree that has grown out of their grain of mustard seed. Complex is a relative term that's rarely applied to a worm, but a worm that's columnic can be rather comic. It can burrow and wiggle and wriggle and squirm. If there are two theories, one simple man, the other, the simpler one, is to be preferred at first sight. This does not seem quite so bad, but a little thought shows that our tendency to prefer the simpler possibility is psychological rather than scientific. It is less trouble to think that way. Experience invariably shows that the more correct a theory becomes, the more complex does it seem. So this interpretation is worthless. All phenomena banana are equally susceptible of being calculated, and all that is necessary to reduce the whole of nature of laws similar to those which Newton discovered with the aid of the calculus is to have a sufficient number of observation and a mathematics that is complex enough. Well, no. A complex pattern of the mislocation of credit for science work must quite evidently be described as the Matthew effect, for as will be remembered, the gospel according to St. Matthew puts it this way: for unto everyone that hath shall be given, and we shall have abundance, but from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath put in less stately language. The Matthew effect consists of the occurrence of greater increments of recognition for particular scientific contributions, withholding of such recognition from scientists who have not yet made their mark. The shortest path between two truths in the real domain passes through the complex domain. No, insane. A cell has a history. The structure is inherited. It grows, divides, and as the embryo of higher animals, the products of the vision differentiate on complex lines. Living cells, moreover, transmit all that is involved in their complex heredity. I am far from maintaining that these fundamental properties may not depend upon organization at levels above any chemical level. To understand that them may even call for different methods of thought. I do not pretend to know, but if there be a hierarchy of levels, we must recognize each one, the physical and chemical level, which I would again say may be the level of self-maintenance, must always have a place in any ultimate complete description of what a cell of a higher organism contains 1,000 different substances arranged in a complex system. The great organized system was not discovered by chemical or physical methods. They are inadequate to its refinement and delicacy and complexity. A central lesson of science is that to understand complex issues, or even simple ones, we must try to free our minds of dogma and to guarantee the freedom to publish, to contradict, and to experiment. Arguments from authority are unacceptable. A clinician is a complex. A clinician is a clinician is a complex. He is a part craftsman, part practical scientist, and part historian. Rapping again and again. A single ray of light from a distant star fallen upon the eye of a tyrant in bygone times may have altered the course of his life, may have changed the destiny of the nations, may have transformed the surface of the globe. So intricate and so inconceivably complex are the processes of nature. A tool is but the extension of a man's hand, and a machine is but a complex tool. He that invents a machine arguments the power of man and the well-being of mankind. Rhyme after rhyme, all knowledge is profitable in its ennobling effect on the character and the pleasure and imparts in its acquisition, as well as in the power it gives over the operations of mind and of matter. All knowledge is useful. Every part of this complex system of nature is connected with every other, and nothing is isolated. A discovery of today, which appears unconnected with any useful process, may, in the course of a few years, become the fruitful source of 1,000 inventions. All scientists must focus closely on limited targets. Whether or not one's findings on a limited subject will have a wide applicability depends to some extent of 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 not one's findings on limited subjects will have wide applicability. Applicability depends to some extent on chance, but biologists of superior ability repeatedly focus on questions, the answers to which either have wide ramifications or lead to new areas of investigation. One procedure that can be effective is to attempt both reduction and a synthesis that is direct to question at a banana on one integrative level, identify its mechanism at a simpler level than extrapolate its consequences to a more complex level of integration. Rapid annihilation. An immune system of enormous complexity is present in all vertebrate animals. When we place a population of lymphocytes from such an animal in appropriate tissue culture fluid, and when we add an antigen, the lymphocytes will produce specific antibody molecules in the absence of any nerve cells. I find it astonishing that the immune system embodies a degree of complexity which suggests some more or less superficial, though striking analogies with human language, and that this cognitive system has evolved and functions without assistance of the brain. Insane, the same, by forever complex scientific schizophrenic freestylist.